All right, history fans, welcome to the Spots of Love podcast. I'm your host, Karan. Today we have a wonderful Barney fan here with us to share his story and hear his experience. Jason Pleasant, you might have seen him. He's gone viral lots of times for doing dancing, and he does his own play-alongs and things like that. Jason, welcome to the podcast. How are you?
It's an honor to be here. Thank you for having me.
Man, it's an honor for me too. I told you before we started recording, when I started this last year, beginning of 2023, you're one person that's been on my list, and so I'm glad that we finally have the opportunity to sit down and film this episode. So I'm really excited.
Well, it's like I said, it's an honor. Thanks for the invite.
Absolutely, man. The way you've seen some of the episodes, the way that we always start the podcast is just starting at the beginning for you yourself. What is your earliest memory of Barney, and what was that experience like, if you remember?
I think the first time whenever I discovered Barney, I think it was back in 98 or 99. 99. Mm-hmm. My parents had bought this audio cassette tape for the album Barney's Favorites Volume 1, and we would in the car. I think it would be the Chevy Silverado or the Chevrolet Blazer non-stop.
Yeah.
Then a few months later, after that year, Mom bought me my very first Barney in the Backyard Gang video, which is Barney in Concert. Which to me, I didn't even know that was the last Barney in the Backyard Gang video that was ever released, or maybe it was something other than that, And then I've gotten into a love for Barney ever since there have been reruns of the show in season 1, 2, and let me just say seasons 1 through 6. Seasons 1 through 6. So I would say that. And then another few videos that we have gotten to watching were Barney Goes to School, Barney's Campfire Sing-Along, Waiting for Santa. Oh, what else? Oh yeah, we even have Barney's Super Scene Circus on DVD, which is
nice.
Practically one of my best memorable DVDs of Barney history. In fact, I made a couple of play-along videos to that DVD because I know that video by heart.
Nice. That's awesome. So you before you listed Super Singing Circus, you listed a lot of Backyard Gang era stuff. Do you have, I know you do your play-alongs and things like that, and we'll talk about that here soon. Do you have an absolute favorite video out of all the videos that's ever released? Is there one that's your absolute favorite?
I'm not sure. The Barney in the Backyard Gang video franchise was pretty legendary, I'd say. Mm-hmm. But I think it would have to be a three-way tie between Barney Goes to School, Rock with Barney, and Barney in Concert. Nice.
That's awesome. It's interesting that you mentioned Rock with Barney, because that's one of the Backyard Gang videos that most people, for some reason, they don't enjoy so much. Why do you like that video so much?
I for one didn't even know about that until my parents bought it. Until my parents bought that video. Once the Backyard Gang and the rest of the dinos started jamming out to Good Manners, that got me going.
Oh yeah, Barney and the piano, you can never go wrong. Anytime you play the piano,
I don't care what anybody says. That video was fire.
Oh yeah. And that speaks to that song specifically speaks to how great Bob Singleton was as music director, because he's just the skills he had to make those instrumentals, to make that music what it was insane.
Bob Singleton was the GOAT.
Oh yeah.
And to be honest about Barney's music, I don't really care who makes great music throughout the show. Barney's music is Barney's music. Bob Bob Singleton or any other musician who came up with the music for the show, they have done a great job.
Yeah. I'm glad you say that because I feel the same way. Like, obviously, Bob Singleton, he's the legend. He's the one that created the original sound of Barney. But Joe Phillips and any of those other guys who ever touched the Barney franchise, Stephen Bates, who did the music for Backyard Gang, the first 3 videos, yeah, they all added their own feel to it, but it still felt like Barney every time.
My personal favorite tone for the music of Barney has got to be the classic Backyard Gang whistle.
Oh, yeah?
A classic Backyard Gang pin whistle.
Yeah, for sure.
Cannot go wrong with that. In fact, that sound was so legendary. I even incorporated that with some of my play-alongs to give the fans a little feel of memorabilia for the older fans like us.
Yeah, absolutely. So, you watched Barney on PBS, it sounds like, in the late 90s. So you were seeing the reruns of the early seasons all the way up through season 6. Mm-hmm. Do you have a favorite, aside from Backyard Gang, do you have a favorite era of Barney? Like, is it those very early season 1 and 2 or the later school seasons? Do you have a favorite?
I'd say the era of seasons 1 and 2. Mm-hmm. Those were practically the best ones. Season 3 is all right. Season 3 through 6, they're okay. They're okay.
What draws you to season 1 and 2 more than the others? Do you know?
Well, personally, I had a liking for the Carnival of Numbers when this Barney marathon came on for the KVIE pledge drive. Mm-hmm. When Barney's Safety was airing on that station.
Oh yeah,
on channel back in California. That's where we first. That's where I got a huge loving for Barney. There was a Barney marathon going on at KVIE on Channel 6 in Sacramento, California, and I was specifically hooked.
Yeah,
I was hooked on that marathon. And the first season 1 episode that came to my liking was, of course, Carnival of Numbers.
Nice. That is a really good one. I like that one too. What about the later? Did you ever watch the later stuff of Barney, like the park era kind of?
Actually, I have.
How do you feel about those? Because most people who grew up with the classic stuff, they like more of the Bob West era, I guess you could call it, of Barney. Not so much a fan of the park stuff. How do you feel about those?
I feel like Dean Wendt and Carrie Stinson still capture the Barney elements within the new generation, and I say that they did a great job, especially with the video Barney's Colorful World. I mean seriously, the park, the kids, the music. They did amazing. In fact, a couple of episodes were so good. I made a couple of play-along episodes to those. My personal favorite episode, however, was Little Red Rockin' Hood.
Oh yeah, I love that one too. That's the one that Fred Holmes, who was also the director, he wrote that one, and they told him, the people who were running the Barney show then told him that episode wouldn't work. And they allowed him to do it, and it's one of the favorites that a lot of people really enjoy. Like, it's just the new story, like the new original story to this traditional story that we all know. But then the music and everything, it was just a great episode from start to finish. I'm glad you listed that one because that's one of my favorites too.
No problem. No.
Yeah. So you grew up with Barney, and now you do these play-alongs. Was there a time in between did you ever get to a point where you grew out of Barney for a little bit, or has Barney always been kind of a part of your life?
Barney has been a part of my childhood since the 90s. Mm-hmm. That is one treasure I will never throw away.
Oh yeah, I like that because that's the same for me. I never grew out of it. It's always been a part of my life in some form since I was a kid. I was born in '93, so I was born in the very, very early PBS times. But now I'm 31, and I've watched Barney my entire life. There's never been a moment where I stepped away from it. It's always been some part of my life in some fashion. I'm just like you. It's not something I can just put away because it's something that I just adore so much, I think.
I was born in the year for the kickoff of season 3.
Nice.
So that was
Nice.
so that 4.
Yeah. Absolutely. How do you feel? So it's interesting that you didn't mention, a lot of times when you talk to fans and you ask them what their favorite videos are, usually they're listing Imagination Island or Radio City Music Hall. Are those also some of your favorite videos that you like?
I'll say that they're on my favorites list, but my number one live in concert video has got to be Big Surprise.
Yeah. Why is that one the one?
Let me tell you, Big Surprise and Musical Castle have a lot of energy. Have a lot of energetic charisma in those two shows. I mean the birthday party, the musical arrangements, the castle celebration. I mean, how can you not love that energy?
Oh yeah. Absolutely. That's something they did really good with those two shows being Big Surprise being their first touring show, and then Musical Castle, the second one, from Steve White's writing. And then, yeah, obviously the way Joe Phillips made the music and how everyone on the show brought their characters to life. It was really this adventure bigger than what we had ever seen Barney before. That really makes them stand out stage shows above all the rest of them, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Have you ever done your play along videos to Big Surprise or Musical Castle?
I have done play along videos to Barney's Musical Castle 3 times.
Wow.
Actually, make that 4 times.
Nice.
And I've done Musical Castle twice. I've done Musical Castle twice, and on the verge of a 3rd.
Cool. As a kid, when you were younger, did you used to imitate like Barney? Did you stand in front of the TV and act out the show and videos and things like that, like you kind of do with the play-alongs now?
Something like that. But pretty surprising. When I was a kid, I used to have bad dreams about the big guy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. It was pretty crazy. But I don't have those dreams anymore.
Well, good. That's interesting. I had one bad dream about Barney before, and it was such a strange dream. I don't even know why I had it, but I'm glad you don't have those anymore. When I was a kid growing up, and I've said it on the podcast, I used to stand in front of the TV and imitate the show, like episodes, home videos, everything from start to finish. I would do everything that Barney did. So it's always interesting if other people who are fans of the show, if they also kind of had that same experience of wanting to be Barney and acting out the movements that Barney did, which is why I asked that question.
That is pretty much the tough part. Ever since I got my costume. I now understand how much hard work, determination, and sweat that David Joyner and Carrie Stinson put through when making the magic.
Oh yeah, and you have to think, like, our costumes that we have don't weigh nearly as much as the costumes that they wore. You know, with theirs weighing 60 or 70 pounds, ours is not that heavy, but when we wear them, it's still tiring for us. So that just shows you even more how great they had to be at what they did.
That's true, yeah.
How long have you had your Barney costume? How long has it been so far?
I'd say to my estimate, about 1.5 years.
Nice. For you yourself, a lot of us fans have started to buy, replica Barney costumes. For you, why'd you feel that you needed to purchase a Barney costume? What does it do for you?
Well, honestly, I have seen a lot of content creators who are fans of Barney try out a Barney costume for themselves. And since I've been into live streams featuring the featuring those creators in that costume, I decided to try it out for myself. Haven't done a live stream within the costume before. I haven't done a live stream within the costume before because I, for one, cannot keep up with the voice while inside and moving around.
Sure.
It's pretty difficult. So I just keep it at a lip sync level.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's really cool. For you, you mentioned the voice before we started. You were doing the backyard gang voice of Barney. Can you do any other Barney voices besides backyard gang, or is that like your the best one that you're the best at?
Well, I don't know if I can pull up Dean Wen's voice, but I certainly can try.
Nice. You got the chuckle down for sure.
Yeah, it's a work in progress. I have listened to Dean Wen, and he is amazing.
Yeah, his voice is a little hard because it's so much higher than Bob West's voice. So like it's much more high pitched and things like that. So you have to get to that high pitch before you can get it to sound kind of like what he did. So it's a little difficult for me too.
Oh boy.
Let's talk about your play-alongs. So these play-alongs that you do, it's not just yourself, right? Explain to people what you do with your play-alongs and who else does it along with you.
Well, I started doing these play-alongs back in 2013. So it's been 10 years since I've been doing this type of video series. It's basically a fan-made paradise video series where fans like us get to share our musical talents share our talents in acting, improvising, and musical improv within the original video, as well as make ourselves feel like that we're actually part of the show. But we always give credit to the original producers, creators, and music composers, so we won't get sued.
For sure. And they
are the real stars of making the series happen. The original series.
Absolutely. Without them, you wouldn't have those videos to be able to do the play along with. How many people normally does a play along video with you besides yourself? How many other people or fans do you usually have with you?
I'd say like three to five.
3 to 5.
Yeah.
And
because I, for one, usually edit on Wondershare Filmora, and that would go up to like five or six clips. Clips for the editing process, which includes the background, the original video, and the other shots that we made. It's pretty difficult, but we managed to pull it off.
For sure. Yeah, I use Wondershare as well. Like when I edit this podcast, I use Wondershare also. So it's cool. I don't hear many people talk about Wondershare, but it's a really, really good editing software, and it's pretty easy to use too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What's your most favorite thing about when you do your play-alongs? What's your most favorite thing that you liked about it that you like? Like why do you keep doing it? You've been doing it for, if you did start in 2013, it's 11 years this year. Why have you done it for so long?
Well, I think it's because of the fans that have supported the series for a long time. Especially my girlfriend. She's been a fan of the series since day one.
Oh, nice.
The series since day one, and there are a whole lot of fans who are the same thing, who are the same way.
That's awesome. And so how much have you grown since that first video? How many like subscribers and viewers do you usually get with your play-alongs now?
Well, not a lot of viewers have come for these play-alongs due to some hiatus that we have been getting, but they always anticipated for the next play-along video regarding to the Doodle Bops or Barney and Friends.
Nice. Awesome. It's really cool to talk to you because I've seen over the last couple years for you, especially, you do a lot of Instagram videos and things like that too, that you've gone viral a lot. Like there's other people who use clips of your videos and and their content and things like that. Have you what how does it feel for you to be someone who just makes content and you're just having fun and you're dancing to NSYNC or Chris Brown or Barney or whatever it is, and there's people who love to see your joy and your excitement and use your videos and their videos?
It just fills my heart. It just fills my heart with joy. I usually get a little skeptical about some of these videos because I don't know whether these people are using my videos to get views or to become popular just because I have more followers than them. I'm not disregarding on anything. I understand they're trying to build up their popularity by just giving it their all, but it's just not cool to use my fame to get what they want.
Oh, sure. I understand that. But it's got to be cool.
I just get a little nervous.
Oh, sure. Yeah. But it also has to be cool because like there's been people like Druski, if people know who Druski is, who's brought you on their live stream where you've danced and done things like that. Those kind of experiences have to be pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty amazing for that. I cannot believe that I have gone viral ever since Druski brought me on his live stream dancing to B2K.
Yeah.
It was a memorable moment for me. I gotta say.
Oh yeah. When it comes to all of your dancing and things like that you do, because you're so good, like you can take any dance routine B2K had or NSYNC or any, and you can add your own moves to it, but you also can replicate the dance moves that they did. Is your love for like kind of the dancing part of it? Did any of that get inspired by watching Barney and dancing with that show, or has that just kind of always been something that's been a part of you?
It's been a part of me ever since I was 5.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a part of me since I was 5. Since I started listening to B2K at the Nickelodeon 2003 Kids Choice Awards. Let me just tell you, their choreography was not easy to learn. Yeah. Their choreography is not easy to learn. I started learning their choreography in 2011. And over the years, I began to progress pretty well. And about dancing to Barney songs, I'm currently working on a little series right now called Hip Hop Dancing with Barney. It's where I give a little hip hop interpretation to some classic Barney songs. My personal one was Down on Grandpa's Farm, which is, and always will be my favorite Barney song. The classic version, to be exact.
Oh yeah, the one from Barney in concert, right?
That's the version I'm talking about. That's the version I'm talking about. The version in the show, that is okay, but nothing compared to Barney in concert's version.
Yeah, it's just something about how it starts. That that whole thing that Bob Singleton created with that. It just it captures you.
The trumpets.
Yeah,
with those horns.
Absolutely. That is a really that the Barney in concert rendition of that. I mean, that was the first time they used that song for the franchise. Also, it is just one of the best instrumental versions for that song. Definitely. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So on our podcast, as you know, we always have our guests bring on a Barney item or 2 or 3, however many they have, that means the most to them. Can you show us what you have for people who are not able to watch the video? Just kind of explain what you have and your story behind why those are your favorite things.
Well, sitting right behind me is, of course, my Barney in the Backyard Gang plush.
Nice.
I use this bad boy a lot for most of my Playalong videos. I recently used it in the reboot the Playalong reboot to a very special delivery for a little more dramatic effect. I even used this plush for the endings to Playalongs to Night Before Christmas, the reboot to be exact, and the second release to Campfire Sing Along.
Nice. That's awesome.
You might have seen this. You might have seen this in other videos that I made, where I use this prop to have Barney come to life. And which was I can't speak.
That's okay.
I have used this for recreating that aspect in Imagination Island. I think The Dentist Makes Me Smile.
Mm-hmm.
And what? Hong Kong, There's a Goose on the Loose.
Awesome. Nice.
This one right here, I had for a while. Well, not a while, a long time. I had this since 2014. This is my very own Barney bag. Ever since I saw this item on eBay, I decided to get one for myself. Now this one here costs like $14, which is way cheaper than the plush. This bad boy costs almost like $100.
Yeah. The Backyard Gang dolls are really expensive.
Rare.
Mm-hmm.
Well, speaking of the plush, I'm on the hunt for another Barney in the Backyard Gang plush with the white mouth.
With the string on it.
Oh, that is really difficult.
Yeah, there was one fan who just found, with the Backyard Gang plush, they made smaller versions too. So they had that size, the 10-inch, but then they had smaller ones. A fan just found one that had the string mouth on it. So it was rare for it being the small 7-inch, but also rare because it had the string mouth on it. Like, you can barely ever find those things.
Oh, man, I would have totally used that for a new Playalong release to Barney Goes to School.
Yeah.
Barney Goes to School. That or I could probably use that for another release to Campfire Sing Along.
Yeah, for sure.
Now the last item I have are on my feet.
Okay.
Of course, some of you guys know what it is. It's Barney's feet.
Nice.
Yeah, which is part of the costume that I have. Let me just say these things are a little huge when you don't have any shoes on.
Oh yeah.
You don't have any shoes on. I usually wear Converse to keep them in place.
I do the same thing, actually. Put shoes in mine so that they fit better.
I even talked to David Voss about the feet.
Yeah.
David Voss about the feet, and he told me wear whatever fits you.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Well, you showed the feet, so you have to say the line that you said before we started recording.
Oh, don't look at me. My feet are too big.
Nice. Great job. Your Backyard Gang voice is almost spot on. That's perfect.
I try my best.
Yeah.
I try my best.
That's awesome, man. I love all of those items that you have. Let's talk about your shirt real fast. Is that like a custom made shirt that you had made?
Well, actually, no. Someone else made this. Not for me.
Mm-hmm.
I got this from eBay.
Cool.
Of course. There's another shirt that I have, which I usually use for my Playalong videos. I've been using those two shirts for a long time.
You want to grab it?
I think I have one in the bag. Let me see. Yep, it's in here all right. Yep, it's in here all right. Here it is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I love that shirt.
This was practically the very first Barney related merchandise I have ever wardrobe to be exact I have ever purchased. I used this for the Backyard Gang era.
Oh yeah.
I used this for the Backyard Gang era, but this, however, this has been my go-to from the very beginning.
Nice. I love that one too.
It's a shame. It's a shame that they don't make these anymore.
Oh yeah. It's also a shame they didn't use that design of Barney much on anything other than just those shirts and a couple like flyer things.
Yeah, and if you don't know, guys, you might have seen that shirt in a couple of scenes during Barney in concert.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You probably didn't know that, but you do now. Now right here, I sometimes wear this for some Playalong videos, but I mostly use it for fan related purposes and other content.
Gotcha. Nice. Do you own from a kid? Do you still own any of your Barney toys and things like that you had?
No, we gave them away.
Yeah, that happened to me too. I had a bunch of toys that, as I became a teenager, I gave away to like cousins and things like that. So I'm trying to slowly buy the things that I used to own again. But I wish I had the old ones that I actually had from being a kid.
However, I for one am planning to do the same thing, starting with Talking Barney from Play School.
Oh yeah, the very first, like the original release or the second one they did.
The second one.
The second one, yeah.
As well as some Barney DVDs.
For sure.
If I get my VCR up and running again, I would purchase some Barney VHS tapes.
Oh yeah. Is there a specific video like DVD or VHS tape that you want to buy again to have?
Tough one. I've seen It Goes to School, Campfire Sing Along, Rock with Barney, Waiting for Santa, the Backyard Show, There's Super Singing Circus, Home Sweet Home. So yeah, I've seen that one before. Can't want to run around.
Oh yeah.
It's time for. Wait a minute. I think I just got it. It has to be Musical Castle, Big Surprise, Barney in Concert, and Goes to School.
Nice. That's a good lineup right there. Absolutely. All right, man. Well, I'm glad that you did the podcast for us. I'm glad you showed us all of your stuff that you have. The last question that I have for you is just for you specifically, why the character of Barney? Like, why do you think that character has been one that stuck with you for so long? Why does it mean so much to you?
Well, honestly, compared to his boisterous energy, I'd say he's a really good teacher, a really a friend, a good teacher, and always there to cheer you up whenever you're down.
Yeah.
So I'd say, despite the fact that I had bad dreams about the guy, I feel like he will never leave my side.
Yeah, for sure.
My side, because deep down, he loves us.
Absolutely.
Whether you love him or hate him, Barney will always be a dinosaur sensation.
Absolutely. I love that. That's a great way to end it, man. Thank you again, Jason, for doing this for us. Where I'm always so excited to see what you do next, if you go viral again, or what you're doing next with your play-alongs and all of those things. So it's truly been an honor for me to be able to talk to you, just the same as it's an honor for you as well. So thank you again for spending some time with me.
No problem. It's an honor.
All right, man. For everybody else in history fans, I hope you like this episode. Oh, before we finish up, Jason, just let people know where they can find you on YouTube or Instagram or wherever else they can find you to be able to support you.
You can find me on Instagram at Jason Pleasant Official and my MJM Entertainment and MJM Entertainment. You can also find me on YouTube, MyJazzyMacEntertainment. MyJazzyMacEntertainment. You can also follow me on TikTok, which is Jason Alexander PLE, all one word, and follow me on Facebook, which is MJM Entertainment, and Twitter, which is Jason Pleasant 02.
Awesome. So yeah, fans, please find him on whatever platforms you use, all of them or whichever ones you use, and follow him and support him. He's doing great things, and he's a fellow Barney fan. But for the rest of you, I hope you really enjoyed this episode of the podcast. And who knows, maybe next time we'll see you in your spot of love. Take care, everybody.
And as Barney always says, remember, I love you.
Awesome.